Hey everyone, how you all doing? Welcome, welcome. I believe we are live. Fingers crossed. Let me just check the stream. We got Zach in here. We got a Nationverse. We got Jill. Are we live? We are live. Welcome, welcome. Hey DJ Donnelly. So this is something we did 2 weeks ago now, and I thought we'd do it again, kind of half an hour, maybe an hour, where we're live. We talk about Crash Bandicoot, we talk about whatever's going on. Obviously this week we're going to be talking about Crash Team Rumble. We're going to talk about Crash on the Run and what's going on with that. And we may get to a point where I have a video coming up later this week, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to maybe get you guys' input on it and some ideas and stuff. I might also bring up the trailer here as well and have it on loop so we have something to watch. But yeah. Hey King Alien. Argentina won the World Cup. Cool, cool, cool. Not really a fan of football, so I wasn't really paying attention to that. Hey, Stephen, how you doing? So, yeah, how is everyone? How you all doing? Welcome in. What did everyone think? We've had, has it been a week now? No. 2 weeks? Since the Game Awards? No, was it last week? Time has gone different, you know? What did everyone think of Crash Team Rumble? I keep wanting to say Crash Team Racing, but Crash Team Rumble. What did everyone think of it? I'm going to try and get the chat working. Give me 1 second. For some reason, chat always wants to break. So bear with me 1 second and we'll get the chat on screen. Hey Cam, how you doing? I hope they continue Crash on the Run. So yeah, if you guys aren't aware, Crash on the Run seems to be dead, but maybe not. We aren't really too sure what's going on with it. So Crash on the Run got delisted from the App Store, what do you call it? The Apple App Store? What's it actually called? I don't know. It got delisted from the Apple App Store, and then I believe it's also been delisted from the Google Play Store as well. I'm not 100% sure on that. Where is stream chat? I don't know if the chat doesn't want to work on screen. It should be working. Let me try one more thing. If I go to this box here. No. Oh, no, that's broken. That might fix it. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if I can get the chat working on screen today. We'll see. For Christmas, I want Pokemon Violet, Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII Reunion, Persona 5 Royale, Smurfs Kart or Nickelodeon Kart Racers, Joy-Con, Neon Purple, Orange, and a $50 eShop card. That's a lot of stuff. I'll be honest, I'm still at mixed reviews with Crash Team Rumble. Hey Adam, how you doing? I have a weird feeling this game will be a paid game. I think Crash Team Rumble is going to be free to play. Personally, I did a whole video talking about will it be free to play or not. I just think what they've shown us matches the model of a free to play game. I'm going to switch. Look at this. It's all a complete mess. I don't know why the chat isn't working on the stream, so you can actually see it on the actual stream as well. But at least I can see the chat. So I'm going to move the chat over here. It worked last time, but it took a while. So let me move stuff around. I'm not very organized when it comes to this stuff. That's why it's just chilling and chatting. I don't have to deal with having gameplay up and stuff like that. We can just chill and we can just chat. I can do this. And I can play the trailer in extreme slow mode, so we can pick out some stuff that we may have missed. Because what I thought would be kind of fun is I'm going to have a video hopefully going up this week talking about different abilities. And I think they call them, I can't remember what Crash Bandicoot actually called them, unique skills and abilities. I'm going to have a video going up talking about unique skills and abilities and what each character's unique skills and abilities are. And I thought it'd be kind of cool to just go live and maybe grab some of your ideas for what you think each character's moves and abilities are. Obviously, we get a good idea of what they are in this trailer. Embryo turning into a mutant, Torna kind of throwing down crates and stuff, Catbat flying. We see Catbat doing like a smash, so I thought that'd be kind of fun to talk about, and just grab your ideas and see what you guys are thinking about Crash Team Rumble at the moment, and what you guys are thinking about the supposed death of Crash on the Run. Zach wants to see more Crash on the Run. See, Crash on the Run, just, I get why it's kind of gone into nothingness, because there wasn't really much going on with it. It was the same thing constantly. It was just super boring. It was literally like every season was exactly the same thing. There was just a new character. So hopefully they're like taking it away, completely reworking it into something either brand new or something more fun, and then we get it back again. I think that would be the best case scenario, personally, but maybe not. So I have no... Let me try this, hold on. I'm going to switch things around to... that is a screenshot from the Game Awards. We have this. Now this might lag. I have no idea. I've also realized that my chat has stopped. So give me 1 second, because YouTube chat wants to break. There we go. I've got it back again. Sorry, I've missed everyone who just came and said hello, because my chat broke. I think we're all good. I'm going to go back to this page just for a second. There's definitely going to be some paid aspects by Battle Pass. Yeah, I think we're going to be seeing a free-to-play model of game with an online store and a Battle Pass, similar to every other free-to-play online game currently going. It just makes the most sense when this is a multiplayer-only game. You want to have a player base at launch, and the best way to do that is to give your game away for free and then monetize it after the fact. I also hope they design Gen 4 Sparrow right in the new Sparrow 4. I'm sure, like, it's Toys for Bob. They did a pretty good job with the Reignited trilogy, so I have faith in them transitioning other characters to the Crash 4 style. But I want to hear a joke. I want to make you laugh. Yeah, sure. What jokes you got? So, hey, what's up, Captain Patrick? Hello, Lord Rella Shem Tov. How you doing? Why would they delete Crash T? Hold on, where did that go? Sorry, my chat just suddenly skipped. Wait, where was that? Here we go. Why would they delete Crash on the Run? Because the game probably had no one playing it. And it probably wasn't making money. That's probably the truth behind it. I don't think people were putting money into that game. From what I wasn't putting money into it. Other people I know who were playing it a bit weren't putting money into it, and everyone else had just stopped playing it because it was kind of boring. Speaking of Crash Bandicoot, can we talk about how Microsoft made another claim that Sony has many more exclusives than them? They're doing everything they can to get that deal through as quick as possible. Hey Damon, how you doing? When Crash jumps over Cortex. When Crash jumps over Cortex. So, let me know if this lags. Let me catch up, and then we'll put up the trailer, because it's booting my CPU up a bit, so we might not be able to like frame by frame it. But we'll have a look at that. If they add crunch, they gotta give him powers inspired by Wrath of Cortex would be cool. Now Crash is in the Rumble, he's no longer on the run. What do you call a sheep that is sleepwalking? I do not know. No more Crash on the Run means more time for Potato City 100% world record. It is true. World of Peppa Pig, can't wait for that. That is the Game of the Year next year. Or the GOTY Award, as Miyazaki was saying. The GOTY Award. Do you think it's possible we could get another guest character, in the game aside from Spyro? For me, the only other one that comes to mind is Ratchet and Clank. Hard no. This is an Activision title. They do not want other IPs in their game. The closest other... you're never going to see it, but the only other person who ever could make it into a Crash Bandicoot game that in some weird world would be like Tony Hawk. That's like the only other thing I could think of that would actually make it in. Do you think there will be any hints to Crash 5 in the game? Probably not. I don't think so. I think this is just like super spin-off, like Crash Team Racing, Nitro Fueled. Like, we'll get Crash 5 eventually, and then if this does well, it will continue like Warzone, where they have like a constant game going in between their main releases. Or if not, then we'll get like Crash Bandicoot 5, and then we'll get Crash Team Reckless or something else to like fill the gap. If we don't get a launch trailer backed by Let's Get Ready to Rumble song, then what are we really doing here? That is true. There was a weird choice for a song for the trailer. It was like some song I'd never heard of, but it was about being king and not like rumbling, which seems a bit weird to me. Captain Price in Crash Team Rumble. When is CTR Crash Team Racing coming out? Mostly a sort of in-joke because both Crash 4 and are both focused on multiverse travel, so the joke would be Ratchet and Clank end up. Yeah, it's exclusive, but hey, the joke is there. True. But yeah, Activision probably don't want anything other than an Activision title in their game. If this was Nintendo with like Smash, you might see it, but nah. I don't think you'll see it with this. So, seems like Pokemon Unite clone. I've not played Pokemon Unite, but Pokemon Unite is more of a traditional MOBA, right? I can have a quick look at it right now. Pokemon. I don't like people are calling this a MOBA, and it's not a MOBA, from what I can tell. Like, this is not a top-down game. I mean, not that MOBAs need to be top-down games. This is more, I mean, it depends what you classify it as a MOBA, because this game is basically 1-for-1 Bleeding Edge, which came out a couple years ago on Xbox. Can I look at Pokemon Unite gameplay? I'm sorry I can't bring this stuff up on screen, otherwise my computer just like hard says no and will crash out. That's how old and clunky my computer is. It can barely run Photoshop at this point. Or even a YouTube video, as I'm finding out now. But hopefully next year I'll get a new computer and we can do proper streams and stuff like that. That's kind of why I haven't been live streaming, because my computer can barely handle it. So let me look at... Yeah, this is just traditional MOBA. Like, this isn't what I don't think Crash Team Rumble is going to be like. Crash Team Rumble is going to be more like Bleeding Edge, Plants vs. Zombies kind of style, or Garden Warfare, more than actual Plants vs. Zombies. Sheep walking. 7 days into Christmas, you ready, bro? The UK celebrates Christmas, of course. Do you think we might see the Nitro squad in Crash Team Rumble? I would love to see them outside of racing. I don't think... It depends. I don't think we'll see them in the game at launch. Do I think we'll see them in the game after launch? Probably not, because there are better characters to have. I have a video going up this week about the characters that I want to see in this game, but it's not based on, like, my favorite character is Pinstripe. I want him in the game. It's more like, hey, who's someone on my list? Let me bring up my list real quick, and I'll tell you, like, who a character I want to see in this game based on what I think they can bring to the game. So I said, like, in this video, right? Norm, right? Okay, he's a character I like. But I was like, who can they bring into this game who'd have fun abilities and play style? And I think, this is what I was going to do the live stream for, which I'll get you guys' opinion on in a minute in terms of abilities and roles and stuff. So we'll get to that in a second. But I was like, a character like Small Norm and Big Norm could be one character in this game, and they could be kind of like Embryo, where you can turn into your mutated form. So you could have Small Norm come in, and then he could switch to Big Norm, and maybe Small Norm and Big Norm have two separate different abilities. Kind of going off of that leaked gameplay, it seems like everyone has kind of 3 abilities, 2 actual attacks and 1 movement ability. So you could have Small Norm, and he could have a move where he's obviously a mime, so he can then mimic the enemy team, one of the enemy team's characters, and use like an ability that person uses, or like his movement ability, because I think each character has a traversal ability, it seems. From the trailer at least, Dingodile has his propulsion gun, and Torna has her like grapple hook, and it looks like, and whether you can just like double jump in general, but it looks like Nitrous Brio can double jump. You could have like Small Norm and Big Norm turn into that puddle of goo they turn into in Nitro Kart and like float around, or like, I don't know what you call it, like wobble around the map as their blob form. So yeah, that video is coming out later this week where I kind of go into what characters I want based on abilities and stuff. Norm could just make an invisible wall since he's such a mime. Yeah, that would be a cool idea. So I thought this stream will go down the characters and we'll kind of like theory craft, build up what the characters' abilities and ideas and movements, what do they call it again? I keep wanting to call them abilities. What do they call them? Skills and abilities. So I thought that would be a kind of a cool like thing for this stream. We can try. Pre-gun. Dingodile's propulsion gun. A vacuum. Does it suck? I guess it does suck, but it also blows. Is it a vacuum? I guess. I'm not really sure what to call it. I don't think they've ever officially given it a name. Ripperoo hype. See, like, I want to say Ditto over on Twitter has kind of like data mined some stuff and maybe has some ideas of what the abilities are. And I think Ripperoo's was like Pogo Stick, which is probably like his traversal. I'm assuming you can throw down a TNT crate, and then maybe he can like do a kangaroo kick to push you away. Do you know what I mean? Maybe characters have passives as well. I'm thinking like 2 abilities, 2 like attacking abilities, a traversal move, and then yeah, maybe characters have a passive as well. I'd like to see Zem and Zam. One of my ideas on this list, which I won't go through the whole list because again I've got a video coming up later this week. Zem is on that list. I would love to see all the Crash Bandicoot would love to see all the characters from Crash Bandicoot franchise. See, I was going to make a whole video on this as well, and I don't know if I will, but a lot of people have been like, hey, I want all 50 plus characters from Nitro Fueled in Crash Team Rumble. I always have to like pause and think, wait, Crash Team Rumble, yeah, not Crash Team Racing. I don't think we're getting that many characters. For one, this is a completely different type of game. Crash Team Racing, all they had to do, all they had to do was make a character, animate it, voice it, and pop it in a cart. With Crash Team Rumble, they need to do all of that, but they also need to come up with a move set that is, for one, balanced, fits in with all the other characters, and doesn't become overpowered and like the meta that everyone just gravitates towards. If you've got 50 characters that all need to be balanced, that seems like a pretty hard thing to do. Like, I'm going to use Bleeding Edge and Overwatch as like the go-to examples here, but Bleeding Edge I think had 12 characters maybe. I think, what does Overwatch currently have? Maybe like 30? And I don't know how quickly Overwatch is adding them. They have 36 heroes in Overwatch. It seems like they're adding them every month. We had, is it Kiriko? Was added in October. We're in December and the second one just got added, so every month or 2. I don't know if they're going to be keeping that up, but I could see that being the same kind of flow for Crash Team Rumble. So in a year we probably get like 12 to like 8 to 12 characters in a year, maybe less. I just don't see a world we get to 50 characters personally. I would love to see 50 characters, but when it comes to like balancing abilities, I just don't see that happening. Balancing could be easy. I mean, you say that, but every game has a meta issue. Like Call of Duty, there's a gun that runs rampant. Apex Legends, a game where you've got all these different heroes. Even Overwatch, like, you're going to have a character, 100% guarantee when Crash Team Rumble comes out, whether it's Embryo, Entropy, Torna, someone is going to be the go-to pick because they just play slightly better than the other characters. They have an ability, or they have a moveset or traversal option, and you're going to see people gravitate towards that, and then maybe they have to balance. That original timeline of development timeline mentioned like meta and balancing, and I think we're going to get a beta to like make sure the game is as balanced as possible when it launches. It's a leaf blower law in reverse. Is the in-law name a leaf blower? What is the in-law name for Dingodar's gun? Do you think each character will have a unique skill tree, even if it's a small one? Personally, no. I think they will come as is, and they'll all have 2 abilities, 1 traversal item, maybe a passive, and maybe like almost a super that you build up throughout the game, and then you can activate that super, whether that's like in the form of Uka Uka or an item you have to go and pick up. I think you'll get like, was that 4 abilities max if you add like the movement. I think Overwatch is a pretty good like comparison for what we're going to see with characters, just based on that it's another Activision title with heroes, and I wouldn't be surprised if Activision were like, hey, Toys for Bob, kind of follow the example of Overwatch here, because they're a sister company to you. Rillaru is just an insta-win. That's his ultimate. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. He's like the nuke of Crash Team Rumble. Nina Cortex definitely coming to this game. Yeah, I think Nina Cortex will definitely, either if she's not in at launch, will be like one of the first people added in, just based off of the concept art from Crash 4. Mr. Crom would be cool. He kind of got like shoved to the side on the run. Like, was anyone really playing that game when Mr. Crom eventually made it in? 36 heroes. Apex only has 22. And I mean, I don't play Apex much anymore, Cameron, but like, Apex has problems with balancing the characters, right? There's always probably one character that is just OP and people want nerfed. And to give each and every character skill set could be hard to determine, actually. Yeah, I think people are like way... Well, I don't know what's the right wording. Basically, I don't expect 50 characters from Nitro Fueled. That's basically what I'm getting at. I reckon a new team of 4 characters each season that would last 3 months at a time is a solid pace. At 12 characters over the year, with the teams being themed, i.e. OG villains, CTTR, CNK. 4 characters of each season that would last 3 months at a time. Yeah, I definitely think we'll get themes. Like, again, I don't know what Overwatch does in terms of their themes currently. I look at like Fortnite, when you've got like the Halloween theme, so you could see someone like Mr. Crom being added in then. I mean, we have no idea what the monetization or the like post-launch content plan is for this game. Once we get that, we'll get a better understanding. If this game is free to play, I think we'll see like a new character added in every month to 2 months. That's the stuff that I want to know, and hopefully we get it at the beginning of the year, and we're not like left waiting until June until we finally get some answers. MisterBo, which Overwatch character do you use the most and why? When I used to play Overwatch, my 2 mains were Mei, because I liked her Ice Wall. It was a super fun ability, as well as her Ice Gun to freeze people. And then my other go-to was Zenyatta. And then when I came to the end of playing Overwatch, I think the last character who was added was Baptiste in Overwatch 1. And at that time, I played as Moira, as a sort of support character, which back when I did my I think it was in the speculation video of what Wumpa League or Crash Team Rumble was going to be, I mentioned that I thought Embryo might play like Moira, where he has the 2 different potions, one's a buff, one's a debuff. I don't think that's probably the case with his abilities. I think he'll have 2 sets of abilities. One as normal embryo form and one as mutated embryo form, and you can kind of switch between the 2 at will. We'll look at Nina Cortex, for instance. Her ability or super could be able to slap enemies from a distance. Her tactical could be stealing items from afar. She's actually one of the ones I'll talk about in the video. And I said she'd have her like fist that comes out as a flying fist attack. Maybe she just has a kick, and then like Torna, her fist can turn into a grapple and she can grapple around the map. Maybe. If I were a character, what would my abilities be? I have no idea. Sleeping? I just sleep on the map and no one can hit me in the sleep move. Why put people to sleep? That's a tricky question to ask. What would my abilities be? It's not fair they remove Crash on the Run. I mean, the game's dead. It did have so much potential. I will agree with you there. They just failed to act on that potential because, I mean, there were so many things in that game that said coming soon that still say coming soon and that just never came soon. Like, there was a lack of communication. I'd love to know. I assume there's literally people stopped playing, and the people that continued to play were not willing to put money into that store because it was kind of a bit of a rip-off. And they were like, this game's just not profitable for us to continue on making anymore. Let's either scrap it or let's rework it. And we don't have a clear indication of what they're doing currently. But if there's any updates, I'll be sure to make videos on the channel for sure. Did the PS4 life cycle end already? No, the PS4 and the Xbox One are still going strong with releases. I think out of the confirmed games for next year, only like 5 are next-gen exclusives. That's like Star Wars, Suicide Squad. I think like Forspoken maybe is one of them. But yeah, I think they're going to be dropping those consoles pretty soon because every game that has last-gen versions seems to be delaying the last-gen versions. Oh, and the Cyberpunk DLC, that's next-gen only. Oh no, definitely. Apex is actually having problems with current character in addition to other broken characters. So yeah, I think people underestimate what goes into like balancing a big set of characters. It looks like we're getting 14, maybe 16 characters at launch with Rumble, and I think that's a pretty good starting number. I think Mutated Embryo will be limited to 1 or 2 use per thing per game, but it'll be super OP. Yeah, I'm either with you on that or the other way. Like, I'm not entirely sure which way they're going to go. They're either going to go, yes, it's his super, and you have to build it up, and then you can pop it, or it'll be like, hey, you can pop it, you can turn into him whenever you want, but you're going to be super slow. You can take a ton of damage, but you don't do much damage. Like, that's the 2 different ways I could see them doing that. And I think, I'm trying to think of another game. There is another game that's similar to that, where you can like turn into another form and you get a different set of like moves. I'm trying to think what it was. Maybe it was like Evolve or something like that back in the day. I can't remember. Maybe it was Overwatch. I'm trying to think of the characters in Overwatch. Is there someone who turns into something and has a whole different set of abilities? But I think that's the way they'll probably take it. One of those two, like, yeah, it's a massive super. But I don't know what you guys think. Do you think we're going to get either, like, classes or roles? I have a feeling that's the way they're going to go. Like, there's going to be the attack characters, there's going to be defense characters, and there's going to be support characters. Crash, probably an attack character. Cortex, probably an attack character. And then you have, like, Embryo as a defense character, maybe Entropy as a defense. Cat Bat as an attack, Coco as a support, maybe Engine as a support character, and then when you're actually in a game, it's like, hey, again, like in Overwatch, hey, you've got 4 attackers on your team, maybe switch it up for a defense character who can play at your bank a little bit more and stop people from scoring, or support who runs with other characters and maybe you can buff them, speed them up, that kind of thing. I think a 3-month cycle is sustainable. That's what Apex does, and I'd put 2 characters to keep it safe and not to overload it. See, that's what Overwatch does as well. 3 to 4 months for a season. You get long enough to do a battle pass if there is a battle pass, and by the time that 2 to 3 months is kind of coming to an end, you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna put this game down. Then the new content comes out, new characters, new maps, new stuff to buy in the store. Similar, I think the thing that worked with Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled was that it was a paid game, and they probably already had all that stuff pre-planned and were like, okay, we can churn this out on a monthly basis. Will Crash Team Rumble have offline because I don't have PS Plus? Probably not, but again, we don't know. If it is free to play, you don't need, from memory, you don't need Xbox Live and PS Plus to play free-to-play games. Crash was on the run, but it was on a treadmill going nowhere. It's too true. Look at Subway servers. They're not doing anything complicated. Just keep it simple. Crash on the Run had so many problems with waiting to play. The gameplay loop was just the same every season. Like, I think Wampa Lewis mentioned it in his video about it, where like you could have just added a level where you're in a plane instead, or a minecart instead, switching from lane to lane, and like that could have just made it a bit better, a bit more fun. Will it come to Switch? I have no idea. At the moment, it's PlayStation and Xbox only. I could see it coming to Switch and PC after the fact, but I could also see it not coming to Switch based on Nintendo's like online not being great from what I know. But then I think like Splatoon and Mario Kart does alright, so I don't know. I have no idea. They might announce it after. They might have been like, okay, we know we can get it working on PlayStation and Xbox. We don't know if we're going to be able to get it working on Switch. And I think the reason we never saw both, or Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, and the reason we probably won't see CTR Rumble on PC is because I don't think Toys for Bob and Activision want to deal with hackers and modders on PC in an online environment. That's my sort of theory as to why. But I don't PC game, so I don't know. That might not even be a problem, really. So Crash on the Run is really taken down. Yeah, I believe it was taken down, though I thought it might have been an error. I don't really know. I haven't really been keeping up with it that much. Hey, Dreadclaw, how you doing? Maybe they'll rework Crash on the Run and bring it back. I'm hoping that's the case, but we don't know. They've not officially said anything, which is super bizarre. Mobile version of Team Rumble? I don't know. Maybe that would work. I don't think you'd have crossplay with the main console version, though. I think it would be a completely dumbed down version, though mobile is pretty good now. I mean, look what they're doing with Call of Duty Mobile. That's a pretty solid port of Call of Duty. Do you think that we will get Spyro 4 next after CTR Rumble? I don't really know. It kind of depends on what, I guess, Toys for Bob wants to do, or Activision wants Toys for Bob to do. I think if we're lucky, Crash Team Rumble will live on for like 2 years, 3 years, maybe, and not like the 8 months that Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled lived on for. If we get Crash Team Rumble content for at least a year, I classify that as a win. Free to play on Xbox doesn't require Gold or Game Pass Ultimate, just for clarification. Yeah, I don't know if it's the same for PlayStation. I know that Xbox changed it a while ago. So yeah, if the game is free to play, but we don't know it is, you won't need your subscription service on your platform. So you'll be able to play it. But we don't know. It might be a paid $30 game. The only thing that makes me think it's not free to play is the fact that they didn't announce that when they revealed the game. But maybe they want to be like, maybe they wanted the hype and not the like backlash of it. Oh, it's a free to play game. What do you think the cow character will be called? I have no idea. I mean, I don't even know if that character's going to be in the game. Like, that's concept art. Obviously, no cat bats in the game. I think that leaf on that background image is definitely for Papu. And if that is literally all the characters we're getting, then I don't think that cow character's in the game. I think Jez Corden mentioned that some of those characters might be like summons or like abilities you can use. So maybe Mona, but like Muna. I don't know. It's probably going to be like a pun on a cow. Or bull. I don't know what she is. No, it's a bull's a male version, so yeah, a cow. Do you think after Crash 4 we'll see Classic Torna be used at all? No, I think they're probably pretty locked in on the new version of Torna. I reckon we'll get Torna, OG Torna as a skin for Crash 4 Torna in Rumble. Personally, because people are like, oh, I hope they add OG Torna in as a character. I see them more adding her just in as a skin to use. It's really hard to get games working on different hardware, particularly for mobile games, yeah. Especially if you want like some kind of parity and crossplay across them. Like, I don't think the games, if it does come to mobile in any shape or form, I don't see it working with the console version, unless it's like Fortnite. Like, Fortnite's managed to do it. So, who knows? But that's Epic Games, and, you know, they own Unreal, so they're probably the easiest people to make it work. Scared of everyone hacking Rilla Room into the game. I unironically want to see Rilla in the Crash 4 art style. I want to see like all the characters in the Crash 4 art style. I'm one of those people who prefer the Crash 4 art style. I think it's the best looking like Crash game going. I want to see all those characters. I'm very excited to see if we get him Papu in the Crash 4 art style. Yeah, Panda makes it into Rumble. I think pretty much anyone from Nitro Fueled is like up for grabs to be in Rumble. I think it's more like, hey, how can we make this character fun and exciting with their skills and their abilities? I think you'll see like some sort of almost mirroring. You'll have characters that are kind of the same, so that I'm trying to think. If you had Tiny Tiger and you have Koala Kong, maybe they both play similarly-ish, but also have variations to them. I'm also curious, like, if this game will have, like, lockout. If you're on a team, do you need to quickly go, all right, I'm playing as Engine because once I picked him, he's locked out and no one else on my team can play him? Like, can you have a full team of Crash Bandicoot? I'm interested to see how that works, if that is a thing, because most games lock you out once you've picked a character. Like, most MOBAs, at least, Overwatch I think does as well, and Bleeding Edge does as well. Like, if someone's picked, you can't pick them. So that's something I'm interested to see how they handle that. Do you think other masks like the elementals will be used as stage hazards? I think the quantum masks will be in this. Whether they are stage hazards, where they have some kind of ability, I might do a video on that. I think Damon had a pretty good idea the other... I don't know. Let me just put this sex bot in the timeout mode. I think Damon had a pretty cool idea, either on the comment section or Discord. Like, you could use them slowing down time. Everyone slows down except your team, maybe. Or you can slow down the clock. Lanny Lowly could, like, invert certain crates on the map. Maybe you could invert crates so the other team can't actually take crates from you. You're the only people on the in the map who can actually hit crates. Akano, maybe you all get Akano's bodysuit and you can like do extra damage. And then the final mask I'm forgetting is Lanny Lonely, Time Mask, Akano. Oh, the flipping upside down one, I don't know how that would work, whether the whole map just suddenly shifts and you're like looking at your character upside down. I don't know if that would work. Maybe. What do you think of the current season of Fortnite? I actually really like it. I'm a big fan of Fortnite. I hopped into the new season. I think the map is pretty solid, and like whether you love it or hate it, Fortnite is the prime example of free-to-play battle pass monetization done right. Plus, they get loads of cool like collabs. If there's a Star Wars skin in the game, I'd buy it. Hey, that was me who was racing you in CTR. Messaged you the other day. Messaged you on Discord. When do you usually play CTR on Xbox? I haven't played CTR in a long time. My mate was just like, "Hey, I realized I've got CTR. Do you want to hop on?" So I was like, "Yeah, I'll play a couple of games." But I can't really play it for very long anymore because it really hurts my hands, like repetitive strain injury. So I don't really play that often. Plus, the online lobbies are still like doo-doo. Any news on Speedstorm other than its delay? No, unfortunately not. I will be sure to keep you guys updated on Speedstorm. It's a bot. It is a bot. Will the Nitro Squad be used at all? Maybe as cameos or something? The only thing I could either see them added in a couple of ways. They're just reskins of Torna. And you'd be like, Torna, but it's Amy or Megumi. Or the Nitro Squad is one character that has a certain set of abilities, and then you can just pick which one you want to play as. Like, I think if we get Komodo Joe and Komodo Mo, I could see them basically being one character, like Big Norm, Small Norm. And you just pick which version you want. But they could add them as separate characters. But I think with the Nitro Squad, they're pretty much all the same person. Like, trying to give them all different abilities and stuff seems maybe a bit like, what's the point when you could just have them all as a skin for each other? I feel like fan favorites like Nina and Crunch will be shoo-ins. I definitely think Nina. I don't know about Crunch. I think he'll definitely make it in at some point. I think Nina will come first just based on that concept art in Crash 4. Why is I wanted to get the chat working. It never worked. Does it work on this page? No. At least you got the chat at the side of the screen. That's fine. Let me go back to this page. Well, my thinking is that if it was a paid game, they would have put a wishlist or pre-order on the trailer. Most games don't do a pre-order until they have the official like release date. I don't know about wishlist, but like Jedi Survivor. I'm gonna keep calling it Fallen Order. Jedi Survivor was obviously announced. You couldn't actually pre-order it until it was given a release date at the Game Awards. Same with Diablo 4 and Wild Hearts. So maybe they're waiting till we have the release date ready and they go, hey, Crash Team Rumble coming June 22nd, free-to-play game or paid $30 game, go pre-order now. I think we'll get the answer when we get the release date. I expect a lot of CTR game skins in this game. Yeah, I think we'll get some crossover CTR skins, but I think we'll get like a load of new stuff. We'll definitely get like recolors like in CTR, I think. That's like the easy thing to do. Have like a couple of recolors and then skins of different rarities. Hey, I never know, is it right? Is it David? Is that how I say that? How you doing? I suspect it's that because I used to know someone that was called David and it was like spelt like that, but I might be completely wrong, so do correct me. But how you doing? Crash on the One gonna make a comeback. We're long overdue for fully playable Crunch. I mean, he was playable in Nitro Fueled, if you count that. Some kind of mini games before a match to earn a team advantage could be cool too. Quick 30 to 60 second loading lobby style thing. Yeah, I think we're gonna get a loading lobby just based on that like leak. That would be cool. Yes, you said in name right. I'm actually surprised. All right, cool. Yeah, I think we'll get like something to do in the lobby. I don't know what, whether it is like a mini game or maybe there's like platforming puzzles, like I don't know, there's an extra Wumpa fruit up top and if you can like in the loading lobby get up to the top to get this one fruit or whatever. You start with more or something like that. That would be kind of cool to have like little mini games. So that's how you can get the Crash Bash stuff that people want in this game. Because so many my comments are like, I'm upset this isn't Crash Bash. How can they put the Crash Bash mini games in this? People just wanting Crash Bash in this. Do you think there'd be a physical release? If it's free to play, no. If it's a paid game, then yeah, I think we'll get a disc version. I definitely think if this is a free to play game, I think there will be like a founders pack where you can pay like 20, 30 quid for it and you'll get like skins and stuff like that in the game. Do you think CT Rumble, it wouldn't be CTR Rumble, will have in-game chat if someone asked before? No, they haven't. I don't know. I would say no, because Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled didn't have an in-game chat, but at the same time, Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled wasn't an online multiplayer-centered game, whereas this is, and you probably want a chat to be able to communicate with your team. Based off of Call of Duty's in-game text chat, I don't know if they'll have a text chat because there's some very toxic stuff going on in that chat. And as this is a game for like a younger audience, I don't know if they want to have to deal with that. So yeah, I don't actually know. Wonder if they bring any of the battle items from Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled, like Invisible Box, Missile Launcher. I think we'll see like pickups. I think we do see pickups. I have a feeling maybe that piano that Cortex uses in the trailer is a pickup. I don't know. But I think we do see like other items other than Uka Uka to pick up and use against people. Let me do here. I'm gonna play the Crash trailer in very slow-mo like I was at the beginning. You can watch the trailer in slow-mo, maybe pick out some stuff, I don't know. I low-key want to see them add Willy Wonka cheeks since it would be thematically appropriate. Imagine if this was like his doing. He's invited everyone to a tournament to see who the best Wampa catcher is, or something like that. Battle mode from CTI, and they're finally coming to use after no one uses it. Pretty much. They were like, hey, no one is using the battle mode in Nitro-Fueled. What if we just take the carts out and make it its own game? I need a Cat Bat Funko Pop. They haven't done any new Crash Bandicoot Funko Pops in a while. I was kind of hoping for... Wait, did they do a Ripperoo Funko Pop? I don't think they did. I know they did U2's. Did they do a Ripperoo? No, they didn't do a Ripperoo Funko Pop. They kind of stopped. I got the Oxide one and the Tiny Tiger one. I was hoping for more villains, and they never did them. They never did them. I wonder what kind of merch we're going to get for this new game. I was actually thinking the exact same thing. I was like, hopefully we get some pretty nice merch and t-shirts and stuff. There was an item for Crash Bandicoot 4, which was a hoodie, which had like a kind of really cool like art style of Crash that never actually came out. So, I don't know what happened to that, but I'm hoping we get some cool stuff. What's an obscure references character you'd like to see? I mean, does Small Norm and Big Norm count as obscure, seeing they were in Nitro-Fueled? But those would be like my two kind of out there characters. I want to see Pinstripe in this game, but I have a feeling they might avoid him, based purely on the fact that he wields a gun and you'd shoot people, unless they put Pinstripe in the game and give him some other kind of ability. But again, that's in my video of like characters I want to see. I do like call out the fact that I don't know if they'll want to put Pinstripe in this game, because you've never been able to actually shoot anyone in these games with a gun that shoots real bullets. Yeah, it is weird how many people wanted Crash Bash when they've been saying it's a pretty bad game. I like Crash Bash, but in 2022, I don't think that game would last very long. Well, Fortnite has physical version with case and code for the game and additional content. That is true, actually. I had forgotten about that. So maybe even if it is a free-to-play game, you'll get that. I'm so behind on the chat. CTI CTI with the 2007 COD 4 lobby chat would be carnage. That would actually be pretty... I wonder what the Crash community would be like in a voice chat in games. As someone who is very competitive, if you ever play Halo Infinite ranked game mode with me, if you are doing bad on my team, I will let you know you are doing bad. So maybe when it comes to Crash Team Rumble, if you're doing bad on my team, I will let you know you're doing bad. We'll see what this game has in terms of those options. But yeah, I will be on the mic telling people to pick up the Wumpa Fruit and score it in the damn base. We need one more left. What are you doing running around trying to pick up 20 million? It reminds me, if any of you guys play Destiny, there's a game mode in Destiny called Gambit, where you need to kill enemies, and when you kill an enemy, you pick up these little like motes, and you can hold, I think it's up to 15 at a time, and you need to bank 100. And like you'll be on 99 points, you'll need 100 to bank, and there's someone who's got 1 point on them, but they're running around trying to pick up 15 to bank, even though we just need 1. It's the most infuriating thing. Do you think Crash Team Rumble is going to have a PlayStation exclusive skin? Yes. PlayStation still has the license, the marketing deal with Crash Bandicoot, from what we've seen, and I reckon yes, there's going to be some kind of PlayStation exclusive skin for maybe Crash, Coco, and Cortex. I would bet for sure. Possibly toxicity, the thing I'm most afraid of. If CTR Rumble, CTR Crash Team Rumble is going to have in-game chat. Yeah, I'm very curious to see how they handle that. We don't know about Crash on the Run, unfortunately, Zach. We'll have to wait for official information if we ever get that. Willie has trapped them all and is forcing them to rumble because he didn't get invited to CTR. That would actually be so cool. I was supposed to be the 55th character and you added this damn crate. Now I'm gonna make you fight for your lives. Really want to get a pair of CTR dice. Those dice were pretty cool. I'm hoping some like I think I would have known by now if there was a Christmas package coming, because Christmas is next week. But I want like a Crash Bandicoot package. I've only been lucky enough to get one Crash package, which was the Christmas package last year, which had the small little tease to Rumble in it. But like, I would love to get one of these like pinatas or a pizza box or something like that. I'm hoping they maybe do something closer to Rumble's launch that I'll be lucky enough to get. But those dice were cool. The pizza that people recently got was super cool as well. It had like a cap. I think it had a t-shirt, had some cables, and maybe a phone charger. Oh yeah, they did do the Time Mask Funko. Was that the last one they did? I don't know. I think after a new Crash game was announced, a new Crash... a new Crash on the Run content is needless. Yeah, people aren't going to go back to Crash on the Run if there's Crash Team Rumble, right? Some people might. A lot of Crash 1 villains need more spotlight. Yeah, I'm hoping we get Pinstripe and we get Koala Kong. Have you heard Apex and Overwatch players in chat? Pinstripe can use bowling bombs. I like CTR though. That is literally what I've written down here for my video. If they don't want to do the Tommy gun route, they could go bowling bomb. Do you think we'll ever see the Crash cartoon get restarted? I really hope so. I love the direction they were going with that, like the art style, the kind of comedy they were going for. It was like very Ren and Stimpy looking. I really wish they would, revive that, continue it, because apparently it was pretty far into production. It's such a shame. I would have absolutely loved that. I would have done like weekly reviews of that show on the channel. That would have been so cool. So hopefully one day they like pick that back up, or they start something new. But it's such a shame. Pinstripe's normal gun was changed to a laser gun in OTR, so it's possible they do the same or similar thing in CTR Rumble. Either way, I still think Pinstripe is going to be playable in Rumble. I hope so. He'll be my main go-to. Going by the Twitter and Reddit, the Crash community in voice chat would be horrific. Yeah. How do you describe yourself when you're on a segment of watching game trailers? How do you describe yourself when you're on a segment of watching game trailers? I don't get quite what you mean, A Nationverse. Imagine Willie saying a flippin' panda came into CTR NF and I didn't get ready to rumble. Am I the only one who notices that in-game Cortex is left-handed, but in cutscenes they make him right-handed? I have not noticed that. I'm going to have to watch and notice that now. Should I play this trailer at normal speed, or is it cool, like super slow-mo? Hey, I'm back. Bo, you have my support for streams very much. Appreciate that, King Alien. Yeah, if you're joining us, these are the chilling and chatting streams. I just did one before the Game Awards, and I just chill and chat, and we talk about Crash, and not play anything. Because there isn't really much to play. I could be playing Crash Team Racing Nitro or Crash 4, but I've played those games to death. I'd rather just chat about Crash Team Rumble and stuff. Obviously, when Rumble is out, we'll be playing that a lot. I'll be doing a ton of live streams for that, for sure. Something about the art style bugged me, but I can't put my finger on. What? Is that the Crash 4 art style or the Crash on the Run art style? Bosses being a part of maps could be a very good way to get characters involved while not being playable, i.e. Bearminator on an icy map firing rockets and blowing up platforms. Yeah, someone actually mentioned this. I want to say it was Julia Bandicoot on one of my videos, was like, hey, I hope we see like bosses in the maps. And I hadn't thought about that, but that would be pretty cool. Maybe like halfway through the map, it's like in one of the, maybe we have the meteorites raining down on the map. Maybe one of the like gimmicks to the map is that a boss spawns in, you know, Bearminator or one of the other Crash Bandicoot characters, or maybe what was the name of that character in Crash 4 that appeared? The like weird octopus thing. I can't remember its name now. Maybe that like appears in the middle of the map, and you have to damage it. And if you damage it, you get either a load of Wumpa fruit, or you get a golden Wumpa or something like that you can then put into your base. I think that would definitely be a cool way to get more characters in the game. The Crash cartoon art style. Oh, right. I liked it. Yeah, it reminded me of Ren and Stimpy. Had an old style feel, like 90s kind of vibe to it, which I thought was super cool. Playable boulder. I suppose if they add additional characters, they will rip the lines from that game. Maybe. Depends what they do with voice actors and what like voice lines are in this. Like, are characters just going to have simple like one-off lines, or are they going to have like in Overwatch where you have people talking to each other depending on who's on your team? Like, will we get like lines of Embryo speaking to Cortex and backwards and forwards between those two, or something like that? Or maybe like if you've got Cortex and you've got Entropy on your team, Entropy's like, hey Cortex, you just betrayed me, you ruined my like plan or whatever, based on the events of Crash 4. Imagine if Mario and Sonic were guest characters. That'd be kind of cool to see. It'd be like Ratchet and Clank mentioned earlier. We have seen Uka Uka being used in the trailer. Do you think Aku will be in this game as well? Yeah, I think Uka Uka. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Quantum Masks as well. Maybe Uka Uka's like something bad happens to the map. Maybe Aku something good happens to the map. For your team at least. and then maybe the quantum masks play in a way where their abilities somehow affect you or the maps. Is that a... Oh, no, it's a relic down there. I thought I saw a crystal. There's definitely a lot of relics on the map. Just looking at what's happening on the gameplay currently. There's so many questions and like things about this game that I just want to know. Louise. I forgot that was that name. Maybe like they appear in the middle of the map. Have you tried the fan remake of Crash Bash Live? I have not. Yeah, Xbox is my main platform. I do have a PlayStation, but I don't really play much on it. Yeah, 52 physical copies of Switch games. Nice. What crossover characters would you like to see? I would like to see Sir Dan or Abe from Oddworld. You know what would be like a super fun callback? Never going to happen. Bart and Homer Simpson. Just based on the Crash Bash beta or whatever it was, where you had the player icons for Komodo Joe and Komodo Mo as Bart, I think it was. That would be pretty cool. That would be who I want in this game. I hope the cartoon and Crash on the Run makes a comeback. Yeah, I think they both definitely have a chance to come back. Whether they will, I don't know. Because I told you Andrew Morgado, who voices Ripperoo, also did Zam and Rilla, could make him do all of those. Yeah, that is true. Did you correct me if I'm wrong, you mentioned that the voice actor of Fake Crash said he recorded lines for a game as well? And based on Ditto, who's someone over on Twitter who data mines Crash Bandicoot 4, he data mined a while ago, like, abilities, certain... Again, these are like in the file, so they might not be 100%. But he found that like Fake Crash is his own file, and he had like Papu in there, Entropy, I think, and like all the kind of characters that we're expecting to see in Rumble here, coming 2023. Hopefully, I wish there was. Whoa. There we go. Falling off the shelf there. I wish there was a loop way to do this on YouTube on Xbox, but there isn't. Aku was in the official art for this game. That's true. He's on one side, but I wonder what his like role in this game is. Maybe it's just exactly the same as Uka Uka, and he just changes the map. Who knows? I wish we had a restate. You and me both. 2023. I think that tease from the Spotify Wrapped of 22nd of June is probably like when we're going to see this game. I think June or October. June based off of Nitro Fueled and Crash Insane Trilogy. October based on when we got Crash Bandicoot 4. I think it's going to be some time around then. Summertime would seem like the best kind of time to pop this out. Because if you pop this out in like full winter, you've got so many big hitting games that this might just get lost in the crowd. But now I'm just watching this trailer again, like slow-mo. Like, I'm so excited. Info about elementals in Project Lava were found in It's About Time's files. I wonder if they'll be in the final version. Same with parachutes. See, yeah, parachutes is the one thing that I'm like, we saw it in that leak. We saw it in the files. We've seen actual, I think it was like a burger parachute someone had ripped from the Crash Bandicoot 4's, is this, hold on. Yeah, it is, should I just play this in normal speed? Or like, I'll play it at half speed, then it's not as slow. Yeah, but we don't see any kind of sign of parachutes in this trailer, which makes me think that parachutes probably aren't a thing anymore. Because you'd think that would be kind of like a cool shot to have in this trailer, where Cortex gets flown up, Coco jumps up really high, and then pulls a parachute and flies down. The Spyro parachute isn't in the gameplay, yeah. I wonder if that's cut content, and we're not going to see that. Because just from a cool cinematic trailer, that would be like a cool thing to have, right? A character pulling their parachute. But the elementals would be interesting to see. They work really well in terms of abilities you can pick up, or again, things happening to the map. I'm going to put this back to 0.2 just so I don't have to keep changing it back as often. Plus, I might be able to see some stuff I missed the first time around. Who would you keep as a pet? Bo, Polar, Pura, or Penta Penguin? I think I'm a fan of tigers. Tigers being my favorite animal, but I might have to go with Polar on this one. I wonder if Polar and Pura will make it into this game. I'd be curious to see how they would work. Maybe they're more of a power-up where you can then like hop on them. I have a feeling there's going to be a big CTR Rumble news in February or March. Plus, we have to remember that PAX East is happening in March. That is a good shout. I don't really know of like events happening next year. We might get like... Do we have official confirmation on who has the marketing for this game? Obviously, the teasers were in the PlayStation advert last year. Whenever I see the official trailer like this one, it's always the Xbox channel version. Because we do know that Xbox is doing some kind of event early next year. They've teased that with Forza announcements and stuff. So I'm going to assume this has got PlayStation backing behind it. But if they don't, maybe we get it in an Xbox event. Though maybe someone has seen something, an advert on TV or an advert. An advert before a YouTube video that has the PlayStation logo on it. I don't know. But yeah, early next year, I'm sure we'll get like a breakdown. We'll probably either get another trailer, actual gameplay, or maybe like a more in-depth reveal of how the game works and characters. There's definitely items you can throw down because there's that plant on one of the platforms up there. And relics seem to be the item that you pick up to activate something with Uka Uka. There is a rumored Xbox event at the beginning of 2023. Yep. Do you think Crash Team... What perfect timing. You maybe asked that before I'd even started talking about it. I just didn't see it yet. But yeah, I don't know who has the marketing rights for this game. If it is Xbox, then I could definitely see them being shown at that rumored Xbox event early next year. If I go on the actual Crash Bandicoot website, I don't think it really... What's listed first? Hold on, that might give us an idea. Does it say where it's coming to? Does it have a written thing saying what it's coming to? The PlayStation logo is first, but I don't know if is that just an alphabetical thing. P becomes before X. I would place my bet on that it's PlayStation. Do I really think Crash on the Run is dead? Probably. It's been over a year with no word from the devs. The game suddenly got pulled. Like, just everything points towards that game being gone. I think they'd be like... I think they would come out and be like, hey guys, we see that you're worried about Crash on the Run. We haven't updated you. Don't worry, we're still hard at work on it. We've just pulled it from the stores, or that was a mistake. We're going to be putting it back up. Rest assured, come 2023, we'll be putting out brand new content on the Run. Something like that. Just to let people know that, yeah, it's not dead. It's still coming. Just wait a little bit longer. But we ain't got nothing. I'm thinking as early as March, April, because they delayed it so long, and looks like they have most of it sorted. Also, hope King Chicken is back and he launches golden egg bombs. That would be cool. If King Chicken is in this game and there's any kind of reference to Willy P, I'm throwing this game out the window. Like, he's Willy P. I've had enough of your games with Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. But yeah, I think early next year, I think February is a pretty solid time to give us a little bit more information. Maybe give us a release date if it's ready. Then PAX, probably get hands-on gameplay from people, maybe an announcement of a beta. And then E3, we probably get like the final reveal trailer with hopefully a release date at the end of June. would line up pretty well. A nice sort of 6-month cycle. Activision has been pretty good with announcements and then launches. Call of Duty usually announced. They kind of delay it now. They kind of announced it. Well, actually, Modern Warfare 2 was announced back in the normal May slot, I think, right? But for the last couple of years, they've been like, hey, let's announce the game, give you about 4 to 5 months, and then boom, the game's out, or 6 months. So I think we're going to see like a kind of 6-month window here. December announcement, release date June. Stephen Brown, are you saying that's when you think the game will come out? Oh, you think the game will come out March, April? That's actually interesting. I don't think we'll get it that early. Oh, we're good. YouTube is like, hey, you're way higher than the recommended bit rate, but I think we're good. I agree that the game is probably going to be released in March or April, but it is not going to be a full release, more like some type of beta, closed or open. Yeah, I think we'll get a beta. Going over that developer timeline, that mentioned a beta. If this is an online only game, they're definitely going to want a beta. It's probably like a beta with these 8 characters we see in this trailer, and not like the full roster, maybe like 1-2 maps to get a feel for the game, make sure there's no problems with it, test the servers, make sure they're all strong, and then yeah, full release with all maps, all characters, all everything. I'm just going to refresh my page here. I hope Wumpa League name will appear in CTR and will, for example, a name of a mode or a trophy. I think Wumpa League is the narrative structure around why this game is happening. I think the players are entering into the Wumpa League based on the concept art we saw at the end of Crash 4. Maybe Chicken Stew are the hosts, and they'll be presenting CTR TV, and maybe the person putting on Wumpa League is someone like a Willy Wumpa Cheeks or a Von Clutch, or maybe even someone like the Evil Twins. Betas are really helpful for bug testing, tweaking, etc. Yeah, and it's just nice to like get your hands on the game early. I think we'll definitely get a beta with this game. April, March. Yeah, I think March, April would be a good time to release a beta. That gives them enough time to like put into place any changes. You don't want to. If it's a beta that's like a week or 2 before the actual game launch, that's not really a beta, and that's just a demo. But if this game is free to play, then they probably don't need anything like that. Why is Neocortex hair purple, or am I missing something? It might have just been something with the lighting in that. It's kind of, yeah, it's a dark purpley, blacky colour. I think that's just kind of the change they've done with Crash 4. I think it was probably like that in Crash 4. Give them a bit more like style, I don't know. Was it purple in Crash 4? Let me have a look here. Is it purple? Yeah, it kind of has a purpley tinge. You know what? I don't know. I've cut out Cortex so many times for thumbnails, but I don't actually know. I think he probably had purplish hair. I agree with you, MisterBo. I would love to see characters like Willy Wumpa Cheeks and the Evil Twins in Crash Team Rumble. I think a character like that, or even like a throwback to someone like Viscount. Like Viscount has got together and he's created this tournament called the Wumpa League, and he wants people to compete in it. Cortex's hair was different colours in the trilogy, was it? Yeah, it's definitely like very purpley here. I hadn't really noticed that. I'm gonna be so curious to see how Embryo plays. Evil Crash? I wonder if we get Evil Crash as like a separate character, or maybe they just go and chuck on an Evil Crash skin for Crash. I reckon you'll get like all the skins for Crash and Coco that were in Crash 4. If I remember correctly, people found skins in the Crash 4 files for characters like Cortex, Dingodile, and Torna. And I think we all just assumed, oh, they like just didn't bother to do skins for those characters because their levels were only like a very few of them. But maybe they were actually like, hey, those are skins for CTR Rumble, and that's why they weren't in Crash 4. I can't really remember what some of them were off the top of my head, but I think we're going to see a lot of customization. For sure. Actually, Jeff Keighley is going to be the main villain of CTR Rumble. That would be funny. Do you think OTR content would be an indicator for what we'll see in CTR? No, I don't think so. I think completely different teams, completely different games. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe seasons for Rumble are like themed around the character being added in. Or maybe they'll be completely different, like completely separate. So like, say Nina is the first character added in, but the first season is pirates. And then you'll get like Nina Cortex, you'll get like a legendary pirate-themed Nina as the sort of crossover theme. Similar to what they do with Fortnite. Like, a season will happen in Fortnite, and sometimes the character will be tied into that theme. Sometimes there won't be, and they'll do like a skin or a variation of that character. Kind of like what they do more with Overwatch, I think. I'm sure it's a mummy. I was going to say mummy, but then I was like, am I just thinking of the skin from Nitro Fueled? But yeah, now you say that, I do think it was a mummy. I think we'll see a lot of cool stuff, customization-wise. I think one of the things in the files is like backpacks, which would, I guess, play into the parachute thing, but we don't see that in this. And we don't see that in any of the screenshots, unless they're kind of saving that. As the creator of the Evil Crash mod for Crash 4, I'd very much prefer to see Evil Crash and Evil Coco as proper skins, though it's more likely... as proper characters, though it's more likely to be skins, yeah. I think when you've got characters that are very similar, except for like Fake Crash and Fake Coco, I reckon they might be like separate characters. I think they'll probably just throw them in as a skin. Though, as I say that, you've got male entropy and female entropy, though they are... I don't know how they're going to work in terms of, are they going to be different, or are they going to be pretty much the same? Yeah, there were information about skins, and I believe Catbat name appeared there too. Oh, really? We can see in one of the screenshots that Catbat has a different color variation. Anyone think it's funny how also every new character we've seen in a mutated animal, but we rarely see in new scientists? Yeah, there was all those... We were going to get a load of new scientists in that other game that I can't remember what it was going to be called. And we're going to get like Entangled and Entombed, I think it was. Well, I hope we see someone like Entrance in this game. Hey, ditto. They were probably cut off when building, hence the level list database, the maps. Alright. Yeah, you've managed to pull like a load of interesting stuff from the files, especially the other day with like the spectator ability, whether that's an elimination. Could it just be a spectator cam? I don't know what like any of that stuff really means. You probably have a much better understanding, but there's definitely some interesting stuff that you've pulled over the last year or so that is probably to do with Rumble. Especially with like characters and their abilities. Do you think we'll get male Coco and a female Crash? Well, male Coco would be Crash and female Crash would be Coco, right? Maybe. I don't think we'll see that though. It's interesting that seemingly Ripto is one of the characters in the Wumpa League, but Nasty Nork, which was in CTR NF and Crash on the Run, does not seem to be on launch. I wonder if that's like direct feedback. I know a lot of people upset that Ripto wasn't in Nitro Fueled, and they were probably like, well, they've had Nasty Naught quite a few times now. Let's just give them Ripto. I don't think you're going to get Allura, though. I know a lot of people are like, that leaf is Allura. I 100% think that leaf is Papu. Yeah. I want to see a funny tutorial video showing lab assistants testing out maps and getting blown up while they explain how to play. That'd be kind of fun. Like bots that you have to attack and hit and stuff as well. Like when you get in a game and the tutorial is like to hit a dummy, but you have to hit the lab assistant. You think the lab assistant... No, I definitely think that leaf is Papu. I don't think you're getting Allura. Like, you might get more Sparrow characters eventually in this game, but I think this is a Crash Team Rumble game. Like, this is a Crash game. I think that leaf definitely... If you look at the artwork that Liam Robertson leaked out, like, Papu's headdress and even his, like, skirt, would you call it a skirt, is definitely closer to that leaf. Torno with the jump crate shouts support character. Yeah. Do we think that... I think characters are going to come in roles, attack, defense, and support. Do other people think that? Or do you think it's just going to be like every character's there just with different abilities? As I mentioned, I think Crash, Cortex, Cat Bat, maybe one of the entropies are like attack. Maybe one of the entropies is support. Dingo Doll maybe is attack actually. And then some of the sign, like Embryo, seems to me like a defensive character, being able to Hulk out. Papu maybe is a defensive character, as he's a bigger character, or maybe he's some sort of support character. He can maybe like heal with his magic as a witch doctor. Like maybe he's got the ability to put down a thing around the map, like an area of defense heal or an area of defense poison thing that you don't want to go into. There's definitely, maybe I'm like way overthinking like some of these abilities, but I hope they are in depth like that. Like Entropy throws down an area of effect around him. If you're caught in that, you are now slow for 10 seconds and you can't move very fast. Or who else do we think is coming? Ripperoo throws down multiple TNT crates. Maybe he can use the TNT crates to get around, but at the same time they then blow up so you can't follow him. I hope the game has like an adventure mode and have bosses. See, I don't think this game is getting any kind of story mode, and that's only because I don't know how that would work in this game. If this game is simply just multiplayer maps and characters, how do you fit a story mode into that? Unless there's bots and you just play a game of Crash Team Rumble against bots and the rest of your team is bots, I don't know how they can fit in a story mode into this. Like with CTR, you can just do the races with bots. But in this, like, maybe I'm like missing something, but I just don't see how they'd be able to implement some kind of story mode into this. But maybe they will. What movie do you think has the biggest fight sequence? That was a toughie question. I mean, Endgame maybe? That final battle at the end of Endgame? That's a big fight sequence. A best fight sequence. Best fight sequence. I mean, I do like Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan versus Anakin. It's pretty solid. Does that count as a good fight sequence? Will there be character classes like heavy, quick, etc.? Do you think each character is just their own thing? See, that's what I'm asking you guys. Do you think that? I think, yeah, maybe instead of attack, defense, support, it's more like heavy, light, medium. I think attack, defense, support is probably an easier thing to put characters into than heavy, light, stuff like that. I think they're going to get put into like classes or roles. So when you're like loading into a game, you can be like, okay, my teammates are playing 2 defense characters and an attack character. If I want to synergize well with this team, or maybe I just want to go around collecting Wumpa Fruit. I don't want to like have to beef with other people. I'm going to play support. Or I want to just defend our base, defend the other team from putting stuff into their base. I'm going to play as defense. That's my role. I think having roles would make this game a bit more approachable for maybe people who aren't into this kind of game. Do I still have my Crash plushie? I do. I put him back up on the shelf though, so I can't get him down at the moment. Hard to tell considering those Papu. Papu concepts are pretty rough. Yeah, they are fairly rough, but from that one, you can at least tell that is definitely a feather on his head, a purple feather. And from what we know, it's pretty much going to be Papu. I can't wait to see what he looks like in the Crash 4 design, though. It looks like they're going back to his original design and not that like Maori design that was the Crash 4 concept art. Do you think activating the masks stops you for like 6 to 7 seconds dumping Wumpa in the basket thingy? That is an interesting thought. I don't know. I think activating the masks is more of like, hey, there's something in the map that you need to avoid, otherwise you're going to lose Wumpa Fruit. Like with the meteorites, like if you get hit with a meteorite, chances are you're losing all the Wumpa Fruit you've got collected on you. The one that we know about from Liam Robertson is there may be like toxic waste that comes up. I assume if you get hit with that toxic waste, you die instantly and have to respawn. Yeah, see here, Cortex are right-handed in the cutscenes but left in the footage. That is a... hold on. Let me have a look. Let me watch this. I haven't actually checked it out. So, where are we? Cortex appears in a minute, right? Cortex, he's using the gun in his right hand here. Yeah. Okay, we'll wait until he appears in gameplay. I see what you mean, MisterBo, even though it's happened for other games like Smash. True. It has happened to other games like Smash. I feel like a fighting game and a kart racing game can fit a narrative more into that. Like, I guess it... yeah, he's using it in his left hand there. That is funny. Maybe that... No, it's not even flipped. That is very strange. Yeah, maybe there's a way they can work in the story mode into this, and I just can't think of it. Do you think non-Crash fans will be interested in this style of game? Yeah, I know someone who's like, hey, I don't really play... he doesn't play Crash Bandicoot games. They're not for him. He doesn't play Crash Team Racing. And he's like, hey, I'll hop in. I will try Crash Team Rumble. It seems like more my kind of thing. It's a multiplayer game, which is more my kind of thing. I'll give it a go if it's free to play. So yeah, I definitely think this will attract people who maybe haven't touched Crash Bandicoot before because they're not a fan of single-player platformers and they're more of like a Fortnite kind of audience. Or maybe they're people who only play like Crash Team Racing. They don't really play the main platforming games. They're like, hey, maybe I'll dive into this. Crash Bash had a plot, loose plot to it. I definitely think they can fit a plot to this. The problem is what is the gameplay of story mode? I don't know how does that gameplay work? If there's bots in this game, do you just simply play a game of CTR Rumble against bots on the other team and bots in your team? Is that all it is? If there aren't bots in this game, how does that work? What is the gameplay there of a story mode? Do you think there'll be new death animations? I think they would be missing a trick if death animations weren't something that you could like customize and change. Something you could probably like, dare I say it, buy for your character, one of the customization items. It's annoying that some people were putting words into... As soon as he said it is a brawler, people were like, brawler? Smash Bros. Brawl? Like, it's a fighting game. No, brawler, arena brawler. This is exactly what he said it was, an arena brawler. This is exactly what I said it would be. an arena brawler PvP game. Yeah, a lot of people were like, wait a minute, it's not Crash Bash Remake, or wait a minute, it's not a Crash fighting game. Cancelled, I'm not buying it. People were way too quick to jump on the word brawler. Because I would describe this game as a PvP arena brawler game. And he even said it's similar to Plants vs. Zombies, and when someone asked about Bleeding Edge, he said, yeah, it's kind of like Bleeding Edge as well. But he also said it was like a game that he's never really seen before, which, other than Bleeding Edge, I can't really think of a game that is very similar to this, other than Destiny's Gambit game mode. It's very strong Gambit vibes. Yeah, the artist who made Catbat did say they designed them as non-binary, but whether Toys for Bob stuck with that when they put the character into action, we don't know. We don't even know if Catbat is the actual name of this character. It could be something like Dave, for all I know. The Warthog transformation is going to be interesting to see in action. I'm curious if that will just change you into a random character. Like, it won't always be a hog. Maybe it'll be a skunk. Maybe it'll be a tortoise. Maybe, I wonder if it's always the same animal or if it's a different creature every time. There's a character in Smite, I think it's Cernunnos. He turns you into a boar, and when you get turned into a boar, you like lose control of your character, so you just start running in random directions. I wonder if it's like that. I mean, this game is a spin-off. A story mode is common for single-player games, not for modern multiplayer games, which sucks, but it's a trend. Yeah. Even if this game doesn't have a story mode, I hope that it has a narrative. They can still have a narrative to it. What does that Coco do there? She like walks, just stands still, and then jumps. Will Yaya Panda be in this game? No idea. I wouldn't count on it in the launch, but maybe at a later date. Crash Dating Sim. Dave the Bat, yes, Dave. Crash Bandicoot's new character, Dave. I definitely think you can see when characters have their abilities, though. There's a lot of like characters that have a glow on them. Like there with Embryo, it kind of happens quick, but you can see his green potion doesn't have anything in it, whereas his purple one does. So I don't know if like you need to have both of them active at once to turn into a mutant, or that indicates that he can't do whatever the green potion move is. It definitely looks like there's some indicator to let you know that a character has a move ready. Stephen Brown, yeah, Nicholas Cole designed Catbat as non-binary with they, them pronouns. It could be changed, but for now, I think of them as non-binary character. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens in the actual game. Hey, Peter, how you doing? How long have we been live for? Been live for an hour and a half. This is a pretty long one, but hey, I love talking about Crash Team Rumble. I've got a ton of videos planned this week, so the more the merrier. The more we can talk about Rumble, the better, more happy I am. Like this is literally, I haven't done any videos talking about my opinions on this yet, and I might do one because I thought, hey, people might actually want to know what I think about this game. I don't know, but like this game so far has ticked every single box of what I wanted from this game. Like to a T. Again, I'm going to keep going back to it because I'm happy that I kind of like speculated what this game was, but the video I made almost, I think it's over a year ago now, apart from some stuff we don't know, like character classes and stuff like that, pretty much everything in that video was pretty spot on for what we got, which, hey, don't want to pat myself on the back, but yeah, just saying. The only thing that hasn't happened is other game modes, which I'm hoping we get in this game. I'm hoping we get like, the video coming out tomorrow is about game modes, but I'm hoping we get more like arena style game modes. You know, capture the flag would be pretty cool in this personally, along with the old picking up Wumpa fruit. Will it be 1v1 in this game? I don't know. 1v1 would be pretty interesting. 1v1 me on Wumpa Island, bro. 1v1 me in Cortex Castle. I reckon it'd be pretty tricky to do because you'd need to go and collect Wumpa Fruit, but at the same time, you need to try and stop the enemy from collecting Wumpa Fruit. It might be a bit tricky. I could see 2v2. I could definitely see a 2v2. That would work a little bit better because then you'd have someone on attack and someone on defense. 1v1, yeah, I'll be interested to see if you get a 1v1. When do you think this game is going to come out? Early 2023, mid or late? I reckon mid. I think June is a pretty solid date. Gives us a 6 months lead up to launch. Gives them enough time to reveal more information about this game, give us some gameplay trailers, maybe give us a beta, reveal some more characters, and then launch in June. I'm sure the internet has already decided. Yeah, the Crash Reddit page at least is a bit of a wild one. I wonder how many new characters from leaked concept art will be in the game. I really hope Tony Hawk parody character is going to be there. That would be kind of fun. I reckon just Cat Bat at launch. Obviously there was that other leaked artwork that Liam Robertson released, which had is it the hamster or is it like a guinea pig? I think it's a hamster, and that cow character. I think they're the most likely out of other new characters to make it into this game. But as I mentioned in my video, like, if this game has got new characters coming out, yeah, it's cool to have some like brand new characters in seasons, but at the same time you want to have those fan favorites, because it's like, hey, we're adding Harold Hamster, everyone's non-favorite Crash Bandicoot character. Are people going to come back to a new season for a character they don't really know? Maybe if their gameplay is fun, but someone like Tiny Tiger would definitely bring people back. The benefits of being a multiplayer game is that there are lots of characters they can add post-launch. Exactly. Just kind of like Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, where you'll hopefully get a steady stream of new characters. You play lots of ones. I don't know. I don't know how 1v1 would work in this game, because it's kind of like you're just both running around to see who can do it quickest and maybe attacking them. I think 2v2s would probably work a bit better. You can have like 2v2, v2, v2, like 4 teams of 2. That'd be kind of fun. As I mentioned, tomorrow's video is about game modes, and I've got things like that on the list of like what they could do to keep this, fresh to play, because I think a lot of people are like, is this all the game is? Not me. I'm super excited. Do you think there'll be time travel like Crash 4 for arenas? Yeah, I think each of the arenas here is from a different dimension. I've done a video talking about maps on the channel. Mr. Evaporation over on Twitter pointed out to me that you can kind of see maps in the background of the reveal at the Game Awards. I think we'll probably get like 10 to 12 maps, and I think each of them are going to be based off of a dimension or a level we've seen in Crash 4, maybe with like a one or two like new locations, like an esports arena based on that concept art from the end of Crash 4. But I think you're going to get like Cortex Castle, we're probably going to get the Wastelands, Hazardous Wastes, Snack World Dimension. I think you're going to get Mosquito Marsh in here. You're going to get the 11th dimension, the snowy area from Crash 4. We'll probably get like you could take the Mosquito Marsh dimension, mix it up into 2. You have a marshy swamp map, and then you have like a musical map from that dimension. Gas Mox, or what was it called? I can't remember what the name of that dimension is. Basically the alien planet dimension. I think we'll get a map like that. Pirate themed map I probably will be getting. I think just basing it off of the Crash 4 stuff to begin with is the way they'll go. And then they'll do like Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, where we'll get like brand new themes we've not seen before, or like callbacks to old Crash Bandicoot games. It could be summer. It could be around summer or late summer. Yeah, I think that's probably the best time. Crash Team Rumble is confirmed, but the fan base is toxic about it. No, yeah. I mean, I tweeted out like it feels like me and only like 10 other people are excited for this game, but then a lot of people like that, and there's a lot of like positivity of people being excited for this, which is nice. Still don't like the name. It's a bit of a weird choice to have it be CTR again, but hey. Crash Team Rumble probably sells better than Crash Bandicoot Wumpa League. The fan base may wake up. I think Crash is dead. Crash on the Run. I think Crash is dead. I mean, the IP is kind of a meme now. People always say this whenever there's even small inconvenience or a rumor. Yeah, like people were saying Fortnite was dead. People were saying Destiny's dead. Like people say everything is dead as long as if they've stopped playing it, it's dead. Doesn't matter if other people are still playing it. Like we never get an explanation for where the Nitro Squad came from. Yeah, we'll never get it. They don't need to explain that kind of stuff. And some people were screaming that Crash was going to have only mobile games despite already had leaks and teasers about a new mainline Crash game. They are quick to jump on stuff and be like, ah, Crash Team Rumble multiplayer only game, brah. Crash is dead, no more Crash 5, no more Spyro. What would Nitrous Oxide's power up be off in the game? I'm guessing that he would need a cart. Funny enough, here's one of the ones on the list as well. My ideas for Oxide were he would be a character all about speed, so maybe as a passive or an ability, he'd be able to boost himself up and run around the map quicker. The other idea, I thought, like, what kind of items would he have? And maybe he has, like, a random kind of item that he throws out that's, like, Nitro Crate, TNT Crate, beaker, or a missile, or a bomb. Kind of like in Nitro Fuel or Crash Team Racing, where he just throws out all the items at will. And then, yeah, maybe he hops in his hovercraft and, like, uses that as his traversal. Or maybe he can, like... Maybe he can, like, abduct people. Like, he pulls people... He can shoot them with his laser gun and they, like, float up in the air, unable to move for a brief amount of time. Maybe that could be, like, something that he could do. I don't know how creative they're going to get with these abilities and skills. I'd hope for an early summer release when with the first season of add-on content being shown at the Summer Game Fest. Yeah, that's what they did with Nitro Fuel, right? But it was E3 that time. The E3 before it came out was like a month before or a couple of weeks before. They're like, you're going to be getting Torna, you're going to be getting the Nitro Squad. That's your first season. Which probably would be like after a month. Or unless you count like the first season as the day launches. When do you think the Switch version is coming? If it's coming at all, probably like 6 months to a year afterwards. If it's not at launch, it sadly happens in any community. Game devs often need to point out the way game devs work on social, and even false points still occur. There's like no stopping it. Yeah, it's kind of sad. Definitely get excited for this game. It somehow reminds me of Rayman Arena. I don't know Rayman Arena. I remember Rayman M, the racing game. I used to hate that game. That was too hard for me. But that was a fun game. To me, it reminds me of the 2-player mode from Ratchet & Clank 3 for some reason. If anyone is on Xbox and you want a game, as I mentioned before, the game that's closest to this is called Bleeding Edge. You'll have a tough time maybe finding an online lobby. I found one the other day to quickly get some gameplay. And I actually streamed Bleeding Edge like 2 years. I think it came out 2 years ago. I did multiple streams. I actually did pretty well. But yeah, Bleeding Edge is the game that I think of as the closest to this. I'm definitely excited for this game. Someone read that. We asked for Wumpa League, and there it is. Now stop complaining. Yeah, I've never covered a game for 2 years before it's even come out yet. We read so many videos speculating, and it's finally here. Like, even when there was like hardly any information to go off, like, hey, MisterBo put one little logo in a St. Patrick's Day post. I will make a video and talk about it. I just need this game to be announced. Still like looking in the corners of this game for like any little thing that we just have missed. When there was a false rumor about MTX in it's about time based on the in-game purchases. Yeah, didn't they have to come out and be like, hey, we can confirm there are no microtransactions in this game. We want a new Twisted Metal game. We're getting a Twisted Metal show. I bet it's going to suck. I mean, I get that one because, like, when was the last good game TV show? I mean, The Last of Us is coming out, and that looks like it's going to sort of be the standard. But, like, we're kind of getting to that stage now where TV shows... I mean, I guess Cyberpunk technically counts, and The Witcher technically counts. So, yeah, there actually been some good TV shows. Yo, MisterBo, I'm really excited for CTR Rumble. Crash Team Rumble. I keep calling it CTR Rumble. And I don't want to call it CTR because that's Crash Team Racing. Yeah. I always believed in Wumble League, and I hope to see more of this game before PAX East next year. You and me both, Zeldram. I'm super excited for this game. It's the same game. Rayman Arena is M, just called different things in different parts of the world. Oh, that's good to know. I used to like that game, but I could never do very well in that game. The AI was just too hard for me. Back whenever it came out, I don't know, it was probably like 6 or 7 maybe? Wasn't very good at it. I wasn't very good at Rayman in general. Probably would be alright now, but back in the day. I once heard that free DLCs also count as in-game purchases, which is weird because you don't purchase anything. Oh, really? I mean, yeah, maybe it's some legal thing. They say if you say Wumpa League in the mirror 3 times, Canadian guy A appears and makes a video about it. Is this game going to be pay to play? I hope not. If this game has any kind of pay to play in it, this game is dead. People will leave this game in a second. I think if the only thing you're going to be hopefully paying for in this game, if anything, is skins and customization items and cosmetics and nameplates and emotes and sprays and death animations, battle passes. That's the kind of stuff I expect to see in this game. I think you'll get a new character for free, probably. If not, you'll probably get a new character for free every season, and then the battle pass will have like a rare ultimate skin for that character. If I was to bet on what kind of thing we'll see in this game. I'm pretty sure Crash Team Rumble won't be a disappointment. Yeah, I don't think so. They've been working on it for a while. Obviously, they took a break to work on COD and stuff. But I have a feeling Activision's like, we want this game to do extremely well because this is our Warzone for a younger audience. This could be the games as a service, live service game where we can have an online store. We can kind of have that Fortnite style, Warzone style game for a younger kind of audience or people who aren't interested in Call of Duty. Massive fan of yours. I'll need to catch more live videos. Do you think Spyro characters absent from Nitro Fueled might appear? Yeah, I think we'll get more. I think Hunter. I think it'd be kind of cool to see Moneybags in this game. I'm not like too versed on my Spyro characters. But yeah, I think you'll see more Spyro characters added into this game. We'll probably get like a Spyro season where you'll get like Spyro cosmetics for all the Crash characters and stuff like that. Like have Dingo Doll looking like Spyro or something like that. So yeah, I definitely think we'll see more Spyro in this game. But I think at launch, if Spyro and Ripto are in this game, I think that's probably all you're going to get, except for maybe a few like Easter eggy customization items like the Spyro parachute and stuff. Yeah, I don't really stream that much. I definitely want to start streaming more. I like doing these kind of things, just chatting with you guys, like when there's stuff to talk about with Crash Team Rumble. Probably next time we get like a trailer, we'll do a breakdown of that live and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely when Rumble is out, I will be doing multiple live streams a week. I really want to like go hard on Rumble, especially with the videos. I'm already putting out a ton. And yeah, I definitely want to like kick into doing regular live streams with Rumble. And if there's private lobbies, like get you guys in because crossplay is enabled. You know, I can actually play with everyone this time. Whereas CTR, I was like stuck playing with Xbox people, and I know people on Switch and PlayStation wanted to hop into live streams and stuff. So hopefully we can do that this time. I'm out of here. See you. Thank you very much, Paolo, for hopefully I said that right. Hanging out. we will be wrapping this up shortly because we've been going nearly 2 hours. But I appreciate everyone who's been hanging out for that amount of time. Super fun. Like, I don't really have anyone to talk to with Crash Team Rumble, so it's nice to just come on the streams and just chat with you guys. Because what I'm doing is looking at Reddit, making my own videos, looking at, well, maybe not looking at Reddit for Crash Bandicoot stuff, but yeah, I love, like, since I've started doing Rumble content, the amount of, like, I've been trying to reply to every single comment I can on my videos, because it's just super fun to talk about this game. Poor Spyro has to keep leaning on Crash for life support. He's starved of content. It is true. Would you like to see more new characters from the beginning, or would you prefer OGs? I prefer OGs. Like, give me a nice selection of more OG characters before you start implementing newer characters. You know, Pinstripe, Koala Kong, Tiny Tiger, Pura, Crunch, Von Clutch, Pasadena, like all of those kind of characters. Give me those first before you start introducing newer characters. And I think the fan base will be the same. They'll be like, hey, wait a minute, you've added this weird new character when you could have added Tiny Tiger. Cross-platform play is going to be absolutely massive for this game, and it's going to make it hopefully live on longer than Nitro Fueled. And the other massive thing, which will mean this game has such a good start, will be, in my opinion, free-to-play. If this game is not free-to-play at launch, I don't think it will get to the heights that it could do. I really do think if Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled had to come out today, it would be doing this Disney Speedstorm approach, where it would be a free-to-play Crash Team Racing game. You maybe wouldn't have gotten the story adventure mode, but they would have implemented more content to that game. Because you could see the way they were trying to monetize that store. Yes, you could earn the Wumpa coins in the game, but you know they really wanted to make you buy that stuff. And only be able to buy that stuff. Do you think alt dimension versions of characters may appear? I don't think we'll see alt dimensions of any of these characters that we currently know about or that are in Crash 4. I think newer characters, like if we were to see someone like Tiny Tiger, then they might bring in like an alt dimension version, or you might get like skins for characters where you get like alt dimension. I was gonna say Dingo Doll, but he's already an alt dimension Dingo Doll. Like, I don't think we'll get like new characters unless it's a character that hasn't been in this art style before. Paid-to-play games keep the audience, while a lot of free-to-play games lose their audiences fast. I've been playing Fall Guys since 2020, and free-to-play was a temporary solution as the game is more dead than before. Really? I feel like I see more from Fall Guys now than I do when it wasn't free-to-play. Especially with like collabs and stuff. That seems to be more prominent now. I mean, I don't know. Activision's probably like looking at what's going on with Warzone and what's going on with Overwatch. They're two other free-to-play games, and that's probably going to be the basis for this. One thing I will just say, that because it just kind of came to my head, Activision has been doing collabs in Call of Duty, right? We've had horror-themed collabs with Leatherface, Scream, Jigsaw, Michael Myers back in the day, and Predator. We've had John McClane from Die Hard, we've had Rambo, we've had Umbrella Academy, we've had football players. There is a chance that a very slim chance that we actually get collabs in this as well. But I'm not going to expect anything. Gotta go, bye. Thank you very much for hanging out, David. Appreciate that. We will be wrapping up this stream in just a sec. Let me just catch these last couple of things in the chat, and then we'll wrap this up. Anyone know why Cortex's N keeps changing from black to silver in each game? No clue. No clue. Pay-to-play games keep... read that. I really hope this game sells such performs well. You and me both. I really hope this game has a nice, fruitful life once it comes out. And it is... Priority number one, this game needs to just be fun to play. If this game is fun to play... That's all I care about. Like, I've been playing the same 4 maps on Halo Infinite for a year because that game is so fun to play, but it just doesn't have any content. Like, if this game is fun to play and they can just kind of slowly churn out content, whether that's free or paid or whatever, I will be happy at the end of the day. There are more collabs because the skins make them money now. True. The problem is the lack of progression and incentive to play. Yeah. When I go on Fall Guys now, it's like, okay, the Battle Pass is there. I don't really care for those skins in the Battle Pass because, I don't know, it just doesn't... It's not the same as Fortnite, where I go and like, oh, Doom Guy's in the Fortnite Battle Pass. I want to zoom up that Battle Pass so I can unlock Doom Slayer, and I can unlock Spider Gwen, and I can unlock like this cool looking Knight dude. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens with this game, but hopefully we learn more about this, you know, those inner workings at PAX East or something before then. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah, appreciate all of you for hanging out for the last 2 hours, just talking about Crash Team Rumble and a bit about Crash on the Run. We're going to be doing more of these every so often. I think last time I said every 2 weeks, which we've stuck to. So yeah, maybe in a week or in a couple of weeks, we'll do another one of these. Maybe we'll have more information or some kind of leaks or rumors or anything to talk about with Crash. But yeah, appreciate everyone for hanging out with me. Hopefully you all have a good week. If I don't do any streams or if I don't catch you guys in any videos, I hope you guys all have a happy holiday over the Christmas break if you're on holiday, or just have a good Christmas and a New Year's if I don't do a live stream before then as well. Cortex and Material Law. Maybe he's just like fashionizing, you know, he's got different ends that he puts on when he wants the different looks, you know. Activision gotta love boosting the view count on this trailer. I'm watching it at super slow speed, so they've only had like 5 views, that's all. But yeah, appreciate everyone for hanging out. Appreciate all the support on the Rumble videos recently. They've been doing really well, and I'm going to be continuing to put out that content because I'm just having so much fun talking and making videos about this game, and hopefully you guys enjoy watching them. Yeah, appreciate you all hanging out, and we'll catch you next time. Bye bye.